Guys, someone came with a gun. They're firing shots at me.
Go, get!
Adam runs a YouTube channel covering everything from survival skills and firearms reviews to home maintenance and music covers. He's clearly someone who enjoys a wide range of activities, but when it comes to wilderness exploration, he's experienced and comfortable navigating remote locations alone. However, in this particular video, uploaded on 2017, he encountered something that proved even experienced outdoorsmen can find themselves in genuinely terrifying situations.
Today, we're going to explore some part of the wilderness that I've never explored before. But last summer, a logging company came in, and they must have got a pretty large wood permit because they cut about a 15-mile logging trail to do the logging. In a part of the woods I've never explored, or I doubt many people have explored, because it's just so inaccessible. So today we're gonna go out there to that logging trail, and I got the all-wheel drive vehicle. But before, there was no way, unless you were gonna hike 40 miles, there was no way really to access this part of the forest. But now that there's a logging trail there, we can at least get the vehicle a little deeper into the woods.
The journey started normally enough. He drove as far as the logging trail would take him until he reached the end of the road. From there, he packed up his gear and started hiking. For about an hour, everything was going according to plan. The forest was incredibly thick, so dense that he was having trouble getting through in some spots. He was following ridge lines on his map, trying to do a loop that would bring him back to his vehicle. But while he was navigating through this remote area, something happened that completely threw him off course.
I ran into probably one of the scariest situations I've ever been in on a wilderness hike by myself. I ran into a pretty freaking aggressive black bear that totally threw me off course of my little map here. Well, halfway through, I run into this freaking black bear. And normally, and I have run into plenty of bear on these treks because this area I'm in, there's just so many of them, but I run into this black bear about, 30, 40 yards up in front of me, coming out of like a pine grove area. And I'm freaking clapping and yelling, trying to scare him off. And normally 100% of the time, these black bear, they run off. They're very skittish, but this guy stood up on his hind legs and like started sniffing the air in my direction, which is not what you want them to do. So I started making more noise and started backing up the way I had come. Well, he started coming at me kind of towards the right and down into this kind of ravine area on the lower part of this terrain that I'm following. So instead of me being able to go right and pick up on the higher terrain where I left off to finish my loop, he basically cut me off, and I had to go off, essentially off my freaking map here.
Adam had to change course. He was now in uncharted territory with an aggressive bear somewhere nearby. He thought he'd lost the bear, but he's not. Then, this happens.
So, I do have another, Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna get moving here. All right, so I'm gonna get moving, guys. I'll check in in a little bit, okay? Motherfucker! Jeez. Yeah. Fucking hey, Jesus! Fucking fucker! Go get it!
His original plan was completely thrown off. He was off his map, disoriented, and just wanted to get the hell out of there. So he pulled out his compass and started heading south. He walked for about 45 minutes until he finally hit the logging road. Now, you're not supposed to fire warning shots at bears because it can desensitize them to the sound. But in that moment, Adam didn't have many options. And honestly, it probably saved his life. Black bear encounters like this are super rare. Most of the time, they'll run. But this video proves that rare doesn't mean impossible, and when you're alone in the wilderness, miles from help, You need to be ready for anything. And remember, when you're heading into bear country, it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. Because wilderness survival gets a little difficult when the hunter becomes the hunted. Stay safe out there. This video was uploaded by the channel Work Less, Enjoy Life More. And honestly, after watching this clip, I think work less might need to be replaced with camp less in creepy woods. Just saying. So here's what happened. Late one night, a solo RV boondocker was camping deep in the woods, about 12 miles south of Williams, Arizona. He was just relaxing inside his camper when suddenly he heard a screaming. Instead of just hiding under his blanket like most of us probably would, he grabbed his camera and decided to investigate.
Hello? Do you need help? Okay, that's creepy.
While he was looking around, he spotted a man hiding in the trees. He immediately ran back to his camper van, got inside, and locked the door. While he was inside trying to process what he just saw, things escalated fast.
Need somebody out there.
And then, as if things couldn't get any worse, he heard knocking on his door.
What do you want?
He stayed inside, hoping whoever was out there would just leave. And instead of trying to force the door open or smash a window, this intruder went full stealth mode and broke into the underbelly storage compartment. Thankfully, the camper had an alarm system on the bay door, and when it went off, it seemed to scare the intruder away. Crisis solved, right? Well, not quite.
I just heard that. I just heard the bay door open. Alright, I think he was under the bay door. With the
The moment the mysterious man enters the van, the footage cuts off. We're just left hanging, wondering what happened next. Did he confront the guy? Did he escape? Or did they have an awkward conversation about boundaries? We'll never know. Now look, I'm not saying this is 100% real or fake. Could it be staged? Maybe. But real or not, you can't deny it's got that jump out of your seat kind of energy. And honestly, even if it was set up, it's still a wild ride. The whole situation is a reminder that camping alone in remote areas can get sketchy fast. Whether it's wildlife, strange people, or just your imagination running wild, the wilderness has a way of keeping you on edge. Beast Runners is a channel run by Peter Novotny, a Czech trail runner that live in Taiwan. Peter and his team is known for organizing trail running events across Taiwan's mountains, including the well-known Formosa Trail. But beyond organizing races, Peter has become known for something far more serious, searching for missing hikers. And this particular search would lead him to one of the most haunting discoveries of his life. On July 17, 2022, a hiker was reported missing in the mountains of Guguan in Taiwan. CCTV footage confirmed he entered the Malin Mountain Trail around 8 a.m. that morning, based on his Instagram post. By the time Peter could join the search, the hiker had already been missing for 5 nights. Malun Mountain is one of the 7 heroes of Guguan, a popular hiking destination with well-marked trails. The path is obvious, and Peter doubted the hiker would get lost on the return journey. But the cell phone logs told a different story. The last signal tower log was at 11:42 a.m., then a long gap, and the same tower again at 5:55 p.m. until 10 a.m. the next day. Using the NetMonster app, Peter confirmed the last tower signal came from above 2,000 meters altitude. Here's where Peter's experience became crucial. The hiker didn't have the habit of using offline map, a critical mistake, and Peter believed the missing man had confused the direction back from the peak and went east instead of west, heading deep toward Baigu Mountain. But after many days without water sources on the ridge, there was only one logical move: descend into a side creek, searching for water. Peter studied old maps along with satellite imagery. He drew a line on his GPS watch marking the North Ridge and a steep creek in red for navigation and safety.
Jenny!
Peter reached the junction with the main river at 1,700 meters altitude. He decided to go against conventional wisdom and head upstream rather than down. And then something magical appeared, hundreds of butterflies.
Wow.
Jerry!
Peter secured the body near the shore and sent a message to his team. After over 2 hours of communication with firefighters, the captain decided the helicopter would not fly that day due to weather conditions. Worried about potential rain that could delay recovery, Peter made the decision to go back and secure the body more tightly. It was terrible work, but necessary. The next day, around 11 a.m., the helicopter was finally able to lift the prepared body. This case highlights two critical mistakes that continue to kill hikers. First, not having offline map apps or proper navigation tools. Second, not doing homework before any trip. The butterflies that drawn to the location created an almost surreal scene, a natural marker for tragedy. It's a haunting reminder that nature doesn't distinguish between beauty and horror. This is why preparation is so critical. Study maps, use GPS navigation apps, tell people your exact route, and never assume a trail is too obvious to get lost on. The mountains are unforgiving, and one wrong turn can lead you into terrain where rescue becomes recovery. Mike Corey runs a YouTube channel called Fearless and Far, and if you've seen any of his content, you know this guy doesn't mess around. He's lived with death tribes in Indonesia, hunted with the Hadza people in Tanzania, and even participated in forbidden rituals across the globe. The man has literally gone to war with the Yanomami tribe and survived. So when he decided to go solo camping at an ancient fortress known as Satan's Castle in the mountains of Turkey, he probably thought it would be just another adventure. Spoiler alert, it wasn't.
We found the secret entrance to Satan's castle. But look, the sun's almost down over the mountain. It's only like 3:30 here. I've got to find this place to camp before the sun drops because it's gonna get cold. And I need to catch my breath. I'm gonna explore quickly, find a campsite, and you guys are gonna learn a bit more about this place. It's mysterious, to say the very least. Let's go look.
Mike finally reached the castle just as the sun was beginning to drop behind the mountains. And let me tell you, this place is massive. The fortress has been standing since 500 BC and has been conquered and rebuilt by everyone from the Persians to the Romans, from the Ottomans to the Georgians. Each civilization left their mark, renovating and defending it before ultimately losing it to the next conqueror. The locals call it Satan's Castle, and according to legend, it's been housing a demon for hundreds of years. You start wandering through the castle like a kid in a candy store, completely absorbed in the history and mystery of the place.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh no. It's a light. Is this place lit up at night? It wouldn't make any sense though. I mean, obviously the light's here, but the town is way beyond the edge. You can't even see it, so it would be lit up for, I mean, no one would be able to see it lit up. Oh, but the cables are cut. Look at that.
These cut wires were the first clue to his misadventure later that night.
All right, look at this. There's a tunnel. Maybe it goes in the tower. Any demons? Any devils?
No demons, no devils, just an empty hole, but another hint to what was to come later in the evening.
Is this the, yeah, this is what we saw from the top. That's the very front door. We saw this from the bottom when we were first coming in. You can see the light from the doorway. This was the chute down. That means the tunnel, oh yeah, that tunnel's right here. For defense, right? What would you drop? Rocks? Cauldrons of hot oil? That's a long way down, man.
Good thing I didn't find that by accident.
As the sun began to set, Mike found the perfect camping spot right next to one of the towers. For dinner, he had 2 apples, a bag of chestnuts, and some Georgian hazelnut candy rolls. Now, here's where things get interesting. Mike noticed that the path leading up to the castle was lit by street lights, but the castle itself was completely dark because of those cut wires he'd seen earlier. Strange, but he didn't think much of it at the time. Actually, he was kind of happy about it because it meant he'd have a better view of the stars.
I don't have my head torch. My head torch is one of the most important things I put in my backpack. It's always there, and it's not there today. I remember putting it in, maybe back at the beginning of the castle when I put my bag down. In the future, there was head torches. In the past, there were real torches. Let's put that fire on a stick and go find my head torch. Ugh.
So he lit his makeshift torch and started following the winding paths through the castle. And that's when the gunshots started. Mike didn't hear the first shot. He kept walking, completely unaware that someone was shooting at him. Then 2 more shots rang out. Suddenly, Mike realized he was being targeted by someone with a gun, and they were getting closer.
Guys, someone came with a gun and fired shots at the castle. They're firing shots at me. They're coming closer. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Put yourself in his shoes for a second. You're alone in the middle of nowhere, and someone is firing shots at you. You have no idea who they are or why they're shooting. Do you stay and try to reason with them, or do you run?
I left everything behind, and now I'm trying to find a safe place to go. That's them there with a flashlight. You hear those gunshots? They don't want me here.
While hiding in the darkness, Mike managed to message his Turkish friend Swat, who lived a few hours away. Swat immediately called the police and told Mike to stay hidden. A few minutes later, Swat called back with some information. The police had arrived at the castle, but they'd been there for an hour already. They were trying to apprehend a treasure hunter and potential terrorist at Satan's castle, and the thief they were looking for was Mike.
Hello. Merhaba.
Mike, where are you from?
From Canada.
Canada.
You made me very slick as a big gun.
Yok, sorun yok. No problem.
No problems.
Turkish. Hoş geldin. You are welcome.
Nereye? Aşağı mı inmiştin?
Yeah.
Çağırdık seni.
Sen neredeydin?
Can I make video?
No.
No?
No.
No, okay. So you thought I was a you thought I was a thief?
Yeah.
The only thing I was taking was photos. How many bullets did you shoot?
4 or 5.
4 or 5 bullets. And then you? 3. So 5 from a pistol and 3 from a AK-47 or something similar. And then I ran so fast in the dark with no light up a cliff. I could have freaking died.
What's your job?
My job is YouTube. YouTube, yeah.
Bro,
Mike, Bright.
My
channel ID?
YouTube channel is FEARLES. You gonna subscribe, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I know what you're thinking. How does a YouTuber with a camera become a suspected terrorist? Well, let me break down the comedy of errors of this situation. First, the locals saw a strange car park near the castle. A foreign guy got out with all kinds of weird equipment and headed up to the ruins. Nobody really goes up there, so they called the authorities. Fair enough. Second, when the police arrived, they noticed all the lights at the castle were off. Normally, the castle is lit up at night, specifically to keep treasure hunters away, people who come to destroy the place looking for ancient artifacts. Remember those cut wires Mike saw? Yeah, the police thought he cut them. Third, they ran the plates on Mike's rental car and saw it was a rental vehicle. Then they found a smashed control panel at the entrance. So, in their minds, a suspicious foreigner rented a car, drove to a remote historical site, cut the power, and was now wandering around in the dark. And here's the thing. The blasted tunnel Mike had discovered was evidence that treasure hunters had been coming to this place and destroying it. The castle had a real problem with looters, which is exactly why the police took this so seriously. We can't really fault the authorities for doing their job. From their perspective, all the evidence pointed to Mike being a criminal. The castle had clearly been damaged by treasure hunters before, and they were determined to stop it from happening again. The military police then took Mike to a nearby boutique hotel to spend the night, and they all sat down for coffee and cigarettes. No hard feelings among friends, I guess. Just another Tuesday in Turkey. This story is a perfect reminder that sometimes the scariest encounters aren't with ghosts, demons, or wild animals. Sometimes it's just a massive misunderstanding with heavily armed authorities.
Until next time, guys, chase your fears. And I'll see you in the next video here.
If you want to see more encounters that'll make you appreciate your couch, check out the video on screen. And hit that subscribe button. It's free, and you can always change your mind later.